Ah,
Hey Sib. Hey Jeff. Oh, Jeff is connecting to audio, I see.
welcome. I was feeling a bit lonely here.
Sorry about the delay. I was like sending out a few emails. Okay, should be good now. Okay, let me rename myself. I believe I'm just the Marion for today, but I can double up on a roll if we need it.
We do badly. I'm not saying like Amerian is the only role I see filled up. Who was supposed to be speaker one?
Benson was supposed to be speaker one
Benson.
originally,
Right.
but I know he said he's
Right.
gonna be late. I don't know if that means he's not able or you didn't get the chance to prepare for speaker one, but we'll see.
Mm, yeah.
Actually, let
We
me
need.
message him to see if he wants to do a speech late
Hi,
or if he
Sonia.
has anything planned.
Hello.
Hello. We need at least a general evaluator.
I can do that.
Okay. All right. So, hang on. Let me rename myself. So, mm, and well, it would be nice to have a second speaker. I'm looking at Jeff.
Sure, for sure. Hey, afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Jeff.
Hey.
Okay, so we've got two speakers. So what we're really lacking is, well, Betty is supposed to be Toastmaster, Table Topics Master. So
Mhm.
hopefully she's going to join us. And we need evaluators.
And sorry, I have to drop. I have to drop.
You have to drop. You
Yeah,
coming back?
I'm coming back. Sorry, man.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So who's our first
So
speaker?
Benson, but he stated he would be late.
Okay.
I think Sanush mentioned he'd be late as well. Yeah, so we do have a few members incoming. We just need to
Okay. Well,
Okay.
figure
we
out what
still
the
have.
first section will be
Yeah.
with
I
the
guess
delay.
I guess Jeff is going to have to do his impromptu speech first, since Benson is going to be late.
If he
And
comes back.
if he comes back.
I saw Moad's name as a representative for the Tall Tales contest in District 4.
Oh,
And
Oh.
so I'm curious to see what his was, because then it was like for the division, he was at the division level, so he passed the area level.
Right,
So
right, right.
if he's up for it, I would be curious to
yeah,
hear that style.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Moad I know is a part of another club as well. So
Oh,
Okay.
that's interesting.
Oh, it looks like we have a guest.
yes,
You're in.
Hey
he
Shannon,
does.
Hi
how are
there.
you doing?
Hello, Shannon.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Is this your
Welcome.
first time in Toastmasters?
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, I've been to Toastmasters before, like a long time ago, but yes, yeah, probably first time in a while.
Well, welcome
Nice.
back.
Yeah,
Welcome.
welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm guessing this was pre-COVID times. Everything was in person for you.
Yes, it's been a while.
Mm. Okay. Well, it sounds like you're probably familiar with the format, so we could probably skip the that part. I guess the main thing that's different is just timing signals. So instead of physical signals, we mostly just use these backgrounds that you'll see. We'll be reviewing the times though, just as a refresher, during each speaking section, so you'll get a heads up on what to look out for.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
waiting
and
for
then
a
Well,
Sip,
couple
I
of people to
think.
join. They said they were going to be late. So we normally start at 5 minutes past the hour, so we're not late yet.
true, not yet. Very
Well, we
soon,
could.
but not yet.
What we could do as a backup is that we could start with
Start
table
with a
topics, and then
yes.
although we are
Although
missing
we
Betty
we have
until.
BC, yes.
What
Uh, we
ChatGPT
have
is
not
for?
we have not discussed evaluations. So, do we want to do round robin evaluations for our main speakers?
Yeah, we could do that. So we'll do round
Or
robin, and
okay,
then
main
after
speakers?
I can be the Marion and timer. So I will try my best for the functionaries. See how it goes.
All right.
Let me get
Well,
my not talking
I'm
sheet.
still hoping Jeff might come back. I mean, was it just me or I heard that he was coming back? Did you hear him say he was coming back?
I heard that he might not be able to make it.
Oh,
That mouse.
really?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay.
Ah, we've got Benson. Okay, that passes time.
Hey, Vincent.
Hey, I'm just right on time.
Hey,
Yeah.
You're right on
how
time.
are you? Yes,
Ah,
indeed, not late
Sure.
at all, after all.
Okay, I think we can
Good.
go. Oh, actually, Sib, it's your call if you want to get
Wait.
started right away,
Yes,
or it's up to you.
yes, let's get started and see who joins us by the time Benson finishes his speech and we finish giving Benson feedback on his speech. And we'll take it from there, depending on who will have joined us by then. So I suppose it is time for me to remember what I chose to be today's theme. Surviving tax seasons. And the word of the day is procrastinate, to delay or postpone action, to put off doing something. For instance, every time we procrastinate, we borrow time from our future selves at a very high interest rate, to remain with the financial theme. So, with that being said, I hope I've not forgotten anything else now that I lost. No, we good. Okay. So, our speaker one today is Benson. How much time would you like, Benson, for your speech?
5 to 7 minutes.
All right. And I will, while Benson is talking, I will paste the feedback form and feedback from responses link in the chat. Benson, your turn.
Oh, is that quick? Okay.
Wait a second. It is a prepared speech, right?
It is a prepared speech. Yeah, I was still in
Okay.
the mode of the previous meetings.
All right.
Uh,
So what is your speech about?
okay, it's okay. It's about the 10,000 hour rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you
okay.
very much.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So,
And
Toastmasters. Okay, thank you. Toastmasters. Last week, we were talking about how much time you're going to need to gain a skill set. So I did some research on the, not the internet now. I did a research using the AI. So basically, I just ask, how many hours do I need to gain a skill? And the answer is not that straightforward. So basically, he said the common idea about 10,000 hours was for people to become the master of that skill set. That's equal 10,000 hours, which means you need to spend probably 8 hours a day for 3 years. Then you can potentially become the top 100%, 1% of the people that gain this skill set. So I reviewed my lifetime experience. The only thing I have is the programming. So since I graduate from the university, I start programming. In the beginning, more than 8 hours a day, like 3 to 600 lines of code every day. Uh, it's keep programming, and I for 10 years in China, and then 20 years in the States. So I have like 30 years of programming time. I can claim myself as a master of a coder. That's all I can say. When I look back, 8 years ago, I was thinking, okay, I need to gain some public speak skill set. Well, because I promote to a project leader, which I need host more meetings and talk more instead of writing and conduct to the people instead of the code machine. So I decided to take some course in the speech. The problem is that I took a week focused presentation course. I think I learned a lot, but after a week, I still cannot talk in the public. Just didn't work. So now I think, okay, the AI told me if you want to rapidly acquire a skill set, you can spend 20 hours or 40 hours, and basically 1 hour per day for a week or 4 months, maybe. Then you can have some functional competency to do that job. However, if you stop practicing, the skill curve will say bye bye to you. So it's work on. That reminds me, like you learn swim, you know everything on the land, and once you jump to water, you just sink. So you have to practice like daily based. So luckily, I met Jeff in the lab. At that time, it's very noisy in the lab, and Jeff is like shouting to me. We were talking about to set up some machine by his team. And I totally remember his words as, Benson, you don't need to worry about anything. You just do nothing. Okay. Next week you come back, the machine will be set up. Okay, that was the conversation. I think this guy is really interesting. But when we go back, leave the lab and go back to the office, he was asking like, hey, do you want to join Toastmaster? What is Toastmaster? So at that Tuesday noon, I walked into the meeting room and I saw Brian, Mike, Jeff, a bunch of Toastmasters sitting there have a meeting. And the meeting, to me, it sounds at that time, the meeting was a nonsense. Basically, people just talk and you care. There's a procedure, of course, but those things, like to me, it sounds like a joke. Like a timer? Why we need a timer? We even have a physical clock and the evaluator. I say, okay, you guys speak really well. Why should I evaluate? I can provide you feedback, but how can that help? Right? So I sitting there for 1 hour and then I left. I didn't pay much attention on that. Then Jeff again come to my office. I said, hey, this is the second week. Want to join? I said, why not? It's a lunchtime and they have some free lunch prepared there. So I get into that meeting room again, having the lunch with the Toastmasters and do the second time. I feel a little bit different. I think at least I can open my mouth. I can talk. Instead of in the official meeting room, I just cannot talk. I say, okay, that's interesting. So I think I'm gonna try to give an icebreak talk for the next meeting. Everybody encouraged me, and people are so nice, and the talk is easy. So I did my first icebreak talk in the Toastmaster meeting. The talk only lasts less than 1 minute. I just introduced myself and tell people like what I need. And mostly I told them I don't speak English very well. I wish I can improve my skill. Am I gonna be a leader? I can host meetings. So that's why I'm here. And now people give me feedbacks, lots of useful feedbacks in the beginning. And I think I should continue with that. So I registered Toastmaster. I start the journey, the pathways. I did 10 icebreaker speech, and eventually I hit the time, 7 minutes, so I can pass that pathway and start going talk speech by speech. And I practice the different roles, timers, evaluators, Toastmaster. I even been the president of the team like once. So I learned a lot. And now I feel it's much easier while I host meetings with my peers, talking about the schedule, review the tasks, like everything becomes so smooth. So I think it's not just about learning the knowledge about how to do the communication, do the public speech. The practicing is very important. So it took me 8 years, 1 hour per week till now. And I think I achieved 4% of this 10,000 hour. I still have 96% to go back to Toastmaster.
Wonderful, Benson. It was. Thank you for this wonderful speech, and I was delighted to find out how you joined Toastmasters and Jeff's role in the process. I wish Jeff had been here for that. So now, Vincent, can you give us 1 minute timing to give private feedback to Benson? I put the link for the feedback form in the chat. Thank
Will
you.
do. And timing starting now. And I believe that since we don't have a dedicated evaluator for Benson, we'll be sharing this feedback as well during round robin.
Okay.
So everyone, do take a few notes. Anything that you liked about Benson's speech and any point of improvement. If you had to give the speech next time, what could be enhanced even further? All right, Toastmaster Sid, the 1 minute is up.
All right. So I saw that Sanuj joined us. Sanuj, are you there?
He mentioned that he'll be back in a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, and I was hoping to ask him if he wanted to give a unprepared speech. All right. Well, fine. Let me jump in.
Do we have
Yes.
any prompts for an impromptu speech? Like, have you prepared any prompts?
Yeah. Well, yes. I could use some, but
Oh, there he is.
hi, Sanuj. Hello. Welcome back. So we have an open slot for an impromptu speech. Is anyone interested in taking that slot?
I'm happy to try. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still dealing with extreme jet lag and I feel
Oh,
exhausted. I got 2 hours of sleep last night, so it may not be the best speech. Yeah.
Okay.
never mind. Thank you very much for volunteering. In these desperate times, I thought I was going to do it. So I am extremely grateful, I assure you. Since being the Toastmaster is just about what I can handle.
I mean, I can do it.
So,
I'm happy to try. It may
right.
be a great speech.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, quick reminder, the theme for today is surviving tax season. The word of the day is procrastinate, which
Mhm.
means to delay. And I'm sure you can do the prompt.
Is there a prompt?
Yeah, I'm choosing it among the list of table topics. So could you teach us the Zen art of stress-free procrastination?
Stress-free procrastination.
I can give you a second one for choice if you prefer.
No, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is an interesting
Okay.
one. I
Right.
just need a couple of seconds to come up with my flow.
And
Okay, I'm ready.
and let us know how long would like.
4 to 6 minutes, please.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Sanoj. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Procrastination. It's something that I'm sure all of us deal with. And when it comes to the question of stress-free procrastination, is there really such a thing? I don't know if any of us have ever procrastinated something and then been happy to do it. In fact, I can tell you about the very many times where I've been sitting at my computer at 1 a.m. trying to either get some work done, trying to get the amount of assignments that I procrastinated in college done, or even my taxes, and wanting to cry because of the amount of stress and my desire to just go to sleep. I think if I had to really rate my desire for procrastination, it's 0. But my ability to procrastinate something, it's improved. It's become a 7, meaning I still procrastinate, but not as much as I used to. And I actually really find that by not procrastinating something, I find the quality of my life and the quality of my sleep and the quality of the amount of my cortisol levels are all in a much, much better place. This year, I decided to do something that I think is quite intelligent, and that was complete my taxes early. I started doing my own taxes about 5 years ago, maybe less. I'm very lucky. I had my dad having a CPA do it, but after a while, he was like, "You're grown now, go do it yourself." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad. I appreciate this." But from a process of continuously learning, continuously giving TurboTax a large portion of my tax refund that I did not want to do, I had to look for ways to improve the amount of money that I was spending with them. So today I'll give a little tip along with a reminder of not procrastinating doing your taxes to potentially help you in improving your overall experience. Now, this is for a very simplified tax return. I'm sure that for many of you, the situations may be different, but what I saw last year was that you could buy TurboTax from Costco early on in February and get a reduced rate. And because of the desktop version, you don't have to pay the ridiculous 3 to 4x fees that you do from the online version. So this year, I was able to save over $200 for both my girlfriend and I by buying this version and just feeling like, okay, cool, I got a sizable tax return. Now, with the topic of procrastination, I wish that I could apply it properly to other aspects of my life. I wish that I could make sure that I was walking every single day and not saving my step goal for near the end of the week and then having to spend 4 or 5 hours on a walk, which, although it's quite wonderful, it is stressful trying to do so and trying to beat a timer that you've set. All in all, I will say that if it's possible for you to avoid procrastination, do it. If you're able to gamify the system in order to improve the outcome of something and make it more fun for you at the same time, it makes it worth it. I know that whenever I focus on getting my steps broken up into a manageable amount each day, and I know that this year when I completed my taxes over a month ago, it's given me a lot of peace. And with it being April 14th, I'm not stressing out about tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sanoj. Very impressive speech for someone who is jet lagged and had only 1 minute to consider the prompt. Very, very impressive and very useful advice. Thank you very much. We are now going to move on to the table topics part. Oh, wait, no. Bad me. We are now going to give advice on Sanuj's speech in the feedback form first.
So I'll be timing it for a minute, and again, it'll be round robin style, so you will have a chance to share this later in today's meeting.
That's right, Vincent. Are you starting to time? Okay. So 1 minute now.
All right, 1 minute is up.
Right. Thank you very much, Vincent. Clearly, I can't wait for us to get to table topics. Even though a table topics master is not here, so I will take that over. I have several prompts. I am going to suggest one and then we'll do it popcorn style. Whoever wants to take that one goes ahead. If nobody volunteers, someone should be voluntold among the people who have not yet spoken, except our guest. That's special.
Well, and Shannon, you are
Oh,
invited
welcome.
to participate in table topics.
Right. You shall not be voluntold, but you are very welcome to volunteer.
Okay.
So, you just got an unexpected tax refund. What's the most irresponsible thing you would do with it?
I can share this one. I would say that I'm somewhat irresponsible with like sudden money. Okay, all right. I, how many of you know about the gachapon system? Have you heard of that? Does it sound familiar at all? Okay, so imagine this. You have like this whole, it's like a vending machine that you can see, and then there's lots of toys, lots of collectibles that you're able to get. Essentially, it's like a collectible. You see a set, and then you see that there's some mystery collectible that you'll eventually get if you spend like 10, try 10 times, you'll get something guaranteed. So there's something like that in virtual gaming that I remember starting with this game called Genshin Impact. And it was a sensation back in COVID where no one could go outside. And this game had a lot of I think I might have mentioned this before, but it had a lot of characters that you could purchase. And you just have to, well, you don't really know about it because the currency transfers are so different. It's hard to tell how much a dollar is worth and what you can get inside the game. Eventually, they had to display it and say, like, in order to get this limited time virtual character, it was around $450. So, not that I would spend my tax refund on $450, but maybe like 100 of it. Perhaps if I'm feeling like, hey, I really like this character's design and I want to get it. So that's my irresponsible purchase, only if it's like on sale or something like that. And I suddenly get an influx of money. To me, I would say that how I spend it is most like I would try to rationalize it saying I don't go on as many trips that might cost thousands of dollars, so spending on 100 might not be so bad. It's a strange rationalization, but that's the way I spend my sudden income if I didn't expect it. Back to you, Table Topics Masterson.
Thank you very much for sharing, Vincent. I think in that situation, we all guilty of, guilty pleasures. Let's see the next prompt. The government says you can only keep one deduction category forever. Which do you choose and why?
I no, sorry, Sonia, go ahead. I've already spoken.
Um, Ladies and gentlemen, our Toastmasters and our guest, if the IRS came to me and said I could have one category, one and only one category for tax deductions for the rest of my life, I would pick medical. And the reason is that even this last year and a few other times in the past, I've had a lot of medical expenses. So when I itemized my deductions, I was able to deduct a lot from the medical category. I have a couple of odd, weird medical things about me. I call myself a snowflake because it's just weird. Nobody else has. I rarely meet anybody who has anything like what I have. But I have asthma. I have this thing called mast cell activation syndrome. I have I get anemia a lot. So I have all these weird little things wrong with me. And so these, in order to maintain my health, I have a bunch of different medication I have to take. So I take a whole bunch of different medication. I have one injection that I get monthly that's over $4,000 if I was paying full price cash. Now, obviously, I pay that until my deductible and my out of pocket is is completed within my medical insurance, but that's still a lot of money. That's $9,000, $10,000 every year. When in your tax return, you can pay it's like 7% of your total income for the year. Anything over that is deductible. And so when you add up all the medications, all the doctor visits, over the counter medications, trips to and from the doctor's office, it easily adds up. Now, if you're not having surgery, you don't have any complicated medical situations going on, then obviously that's not for you. But for me, it would definitely be medical because I only see things getting more complicated as I get older. But thank you for the great question. Back to you, Sib.
Thank you very much, Sonia. It's a choice I can relate to, even though I am not struggling with everything you are. Well, I think we still have time for one speech. What is the most creative excuse you have ever used for missing a deadline, tax or otherwise?
And Shannon, if you'd like, you can answer this question or you can answer a previous one, whichever you prefer.
Sorry, what was the question?
What is the most creative excuse you have ever used for missing a deadline? Whether it is a tax deadline or anything else, any deadline.
Most creative excuse I'm thinking. Um, I'm usually, I mean, my excuses are related to either family emergencies or I have elderly parents, aging parents. So as they, get into their 80s and stuff like that, my mom got really sick last year. And so she needed a lot of medical appointments and stuff like that. So that would be my reason or excuse. Not really trying to, I guess, I don't know how creative that is. That's more like, the way I see it is, I have a parent that's in need of assistance, as they gave me life in this world, that I should, um, help them as needed, right? As we get older, right? Things change in life so much. And, I'm also myself going through a really, really hard time. I'm out of work, and been looking for work now for quite a while. It's been, you know, what do I say, like very volatile for the last 2 years for me. So it's really hard right now.
Thank you very much, Shannon. Thank you
Thank you.
for jumping in on your first meeting and thank you for sharing.
Of course, yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. I think that can conclude our table topics for today. So we are going to move on to the evaluation, general evaluation part of our meeting. So I am passing on to Sonia, our general evaluator for today. Thank you very much, Sonia.
Thank you, Sim. Now, the first part of our evaluation portion of the meeting will be to give feedback to both our speakers. And we will begin with Benson. Since we don't have evaluators specifically picked out, so for an individual to give you feedback, we will do a round robin style. And I will, Vincent, can you give us time on the clock?
Yep, I can do 3 to 5 minutes total per person if you'd like, or we could do 2 to 3, up to you.
Let's do the 3 to 5 per person we're evaluating. That way it keeps us on track for time today.
Sounds good. Starting the time.
All right. So Benson, I loved your speech. There were a few things I think you could probably do to make it better, but most of that I'm going to leave up to Vincent since he's our Marion for the day. Uh, I do think that the beginning of your speech could have been a little crisper. Uh, and there I am with my Oz. But I do think maybe because you were giving a speech to friends here, to people you've seen forever, aside from our one guest today. But if you were going to give that speech to a broader audience, I would make sure that the intro, as you're beginning your speech talking with people, is a little less, I don't want to say less friendly, but less informal. So that was the big thing I wanted to give you for your speech. Now, moving on, who else would like to give some feedback?
I can go next.
Okay,
I
Vincent.
won't, I won't give the whole grammarians report part. I'll save that for the next section. But I did like how it was mostly story driven, how it went into your experience at work and then suddenly having that need because you're mentioning how you were finding like you wanted to improve leadership because that was a role that you were able to step into. So I like how you introduced a need and how you were able to share a story about how you got into Toastmasters. One thing I really liked was how you had dialogue in it, how you were mentioning how Jeff would just jump in and you were able to like retort back, and then you were able to describe your own thoughts throughout the meeting. So that's something I like. I was able to see your character and how you were able to use Toastmasters for your leadership. Like there was a clear moment where you mentioned that you were able to take on presidency for some point. And what I would have loved for you to be able to dive deep into your role as a president and being able to reflect how that role in Toastmasters was similar, or did that fit your need before? Like, did it help? Did you notice yourself being more feeling more comfortable hosting meetings as a result, or was there any unexpected benefits from your experience as a president? That's the small thing that I was curious about. Overall, I really liked how story driven it was and how it added conversations. So do keep that aspect in your speech.
Dib, do you want to give any feedback today?
Yes. So I completely agree with Vincent. Vincent, you said a number of things that I want I wanted to say myself. It was wonderful to have a story. It was a wonderfully story-driven speech. I also really enjoyed the choice of topic. I thought this was a really good choice of topic given your audience, something that we can all be interested in. The way I would think you could improve your speech would be by using past tense, given that it's a story, a narrative in the past. I feel that in English, people usually do that in the past tense. It would be, you would be giving it in French, it would be perfectly fine to give it in the present. They've got what they call this intemporal present. But I have not heard the present used that way in English, I don't think. And yes, that's,
Okay.
thank you very much for your speech.
Shannon, since you were here for the speech, and we have a little bit of time left on the clock, would you like to give any feedback that you have?
I don't have any feedback. I'm, more like observing this time. This is my
That's
first
okay.
time back in a while, and I'll probably have more next time though. Thank you though.
That's okay. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to participate.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's move on to our second speech from Sanuj. Sanuj, I definitely loved the idea of you giving tax tips and how procrastination is really hard, especially during tax time. And a lot of people do leave it to the last minute. Uh, when I was younger, I did that. But once I got well, I have two bachelor degrees. One of them is in accounting and one of them is in management information systems. As I was going through the accounting process, we learned a lot about doing people's taxes. In fact, we went out and helped people do them. From that point forward, I did taxes for other people. So I really understood how hard it is for people who do procrastinate on their taxes. It can be very frustrating and very hard. So I really enjoyed your speech in that respect. And I do want to say thank you for giving us an impromptu speech while you are so haggard from your travels. I'll shift over to Vincent if you'd like to give some feedback.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a new, I think you've become a master at impromptu speeches. It's something that I've noticed has always been one of your strengths, mostly because you have an ability to do transitions fairly well. Like I noticed you mentioned either you emphasize now or so. So I can always tell when there's a transition occurring throughout your speech, which makes it so easy to follow. And that's something I do want you to keep throughout, like your emphasis on words for transitions. I'm thinking about what way to adjust it, and I don't have any suggestions per se in terms of enhancements, but more challenges to see like if it's something that you want to explore. Like I'd love to deep dive into different conversations that you have in your head, whether it's procrastination or maybe it's like your first time with taxes. I remember when you were talking with your dad, or it sounds like there could have been a dialogue or a conversation that you would have had with your father, where he was like, "Nope, it's all you now. You're a grown adult." But I think what one thing that you could have mentioned, like as share your thought process, for example, were you anxious? Were you nervous? How did you feel during that moment? Did you feel doubtful? Did you feel like there was a lot of pressure, anxiety, uncertainty? And then that way you can lead up to that solution that where you were sharing tips about what you learned from your experience, just to add that extra oomph. So I would say for any conversations you have, see if you can explore it a little bit because it gives you an opportunity to add variety as well. But overall, I felt like it was an easy story for me to listen to, and especially for an impromptu speech, like that's the big consideration because I think like with the prepared speech, you definitely have all the time to figure out should I add a conversation here or not. So this is more just like an ad in case you ever do an impromptu speech. Perhaps it's a challenge to see, can I add a dialogue here, or is there anything that I can do to add even more to it? Because overall, it was very easy to follow, which and it's well structured, which I think is a talent that you have for impromptu speeches.
Thank you very much, Vincent. Benson, would you like to give some feedback?
And sandwich speech gave me a lot of insight of text preparing, which is very interesting because my wife is a CPA, so I don't think I need to worry about tax in my lifetime. That's lucky for me. So maybe Vincent have more, maybe you have opportunity to do that if it's not too late. But yes, as people have no idea about text preparing, and Sanuji's speech gave me a interesting angle to look into that. It sounds like a lot of job. Even you have to buy the software and yeah, do a whole bunch of things like struggling on that. So yeah, I think the as an impromptu speech, it can give the audience a very good feeling of how and some hints. Appreciate that. Back to general evaluate.
Thank you. And Sib, do you have any feedback?
I was particularly impressed by the structure of the speech, by the logic of the structure, given the little amount of time you had. It really seems to come naturally to you. You started by general reflections and experience. Then you move to a specific example of doing your taxes with your dad throwing you in the swimming pool there. And you gave both specific practical advice, which would be of interest to all of us, by mentioning how to where to find the TurboTax software. And also at the end, I really appreciated that you went back to the general and gave general advice about procrastination in general by suggesting that to gamify the tasks that one is likely to procrastinate upon. So I thought that was interesting and useful.
Thank you, Sib. All right. So the next portion from on our evaluation section is to learn how well we did with our timing during the meeting, as well as our Marion, since it's the same person today. So we're going to do it all in one shot, if that's okay with you, Vincent.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good with
So
me.
tell me how we did.
I would say for the timing, I got the speeches down. I don't think I timed all the table topics, so that is my bad, or I didn't note it down. But I noticed that for Benson, your timing was 7 minutes and 42 seconds, so this one was slightly over time for the 5 to 7 minutes. So Nuge, you were within time, and I got you down at 4 minutes and 46 seconds for the 4 to 6 minute range. So great. So nice job there. For table topics, the ones that I did manage to write down, Sonia, I had you down at 2 minutes and 17 seconds. For myself, I timed it at 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And unfortunately, I didn't time the rest, but I did notice that it didn't seem like anyone went over the grace period for table topics. For the round robin evaluations, we timed it for 3 to 5 minutes. The first one was 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and the second one was 5 minutes and 11 seconds. So very interesting how it was 11 seconds for both. But either way, both were within our time period. Now going into the Oz report. So I tried to track down as specifically as I could. We'll see how accurate it was. Sib, for you, I got 2 Ahs and 3 So's. One thing that I liked when I was listening into your speech, is for the grammarian section, so I'll do both an counters report and a grammarian support. One thing I noticed was borrowing at a high interest rate, and I like that that was especially relevant because of procrastination. It feels like if the more we do it, the more it starts to hurt. So thank you for sharing that. Benson, for you, I heard one two ums, five so's. So I think so's was the tricky one. This was a so as a transition when it could have just started with the sentence. One thing I noticed was that might need that I noticed was you said feedbacks when feedback is already plural. So you can just say feedback and that works out. One thing I liked was that you mentioned the skill curve will say bye bye. That was a nice phrase. I just that because I was like, oh yeah, if you don't practice that enough, your skills are just gonna go away. So I thought that was a very nice phrase. Sonia, you had for us one one so, and one you know. So mostly just Oz for today. I would say is the main focus. One thing I liked was your details when you were able to talk about deductibles, because I was able to just put things into perspective. So whenever you're able to add details into your speech, it's always appreciated. So kudos to adding those details. Shannon, I noticed that for you, it was just you knows as something to enhance for next time, but you didn't have too many Oz. So that's great. For myself, I noticed a few uhs, mostly during transitions, and I definitely use those. That's something I would like to work on. Sanuj, I just noted one so as a transition, and it was mostly so thank you. That was it. One thing that I liked in terms of phrasing is that you mentioned wanting to cry, which I don't hear that often in a speech, but it just brought us. I don't know why hearing someone wanting to cry brings a smile to my face. No clue. I need to work on that. And how you rated your desire for procrastination on a scale. So that was nice just to give us a reference about how, like, where you felt in terms of wanting to procrastinate or your desires to procrastinate. I thought that was good. That is my report as the counter, grammarian, and timer. Back to you, Sonia.
Thank you so much for not only filling so many roles today, since we didn't have everyone show up. Loved your accuracy. And yes, and I do the same thing as you. Whenever I hear an come out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, I did it again. But as a Toastmaster, you begin to, because you're here so often, you begin to hear it, not only when you're here in the meeting, but also outside of the meetings. Okay, so next up will be my evaluation of the meeting. I think we did a fairly great job because given the fact that we didn't have as many people to fill the roles as we normally would have. So thank you to everyone who filled multiple roles again. Vincent, I loved your 10,000 hours to master a skill, but you have to practice them to keep them sharp. I love being reminded of that. We definitely have to keep that in mind with any new skill that we try to do in life. I actually was just thinking that this morning for watercolor painting that I needed to practice because I saw something I really wanted to paint. And I was like, yeah, no, my skills aren't good right now. I haven't done anything for at least 8 months. So it's right on point. And Sanush, thank you for all the text tips and great stories. Oh, and Vincent, your video character purchase, I am so guilty of doing that myself. Great topic. The only real big things for our next meeting that I think we really should try and get handled is one, getting people here for roles, getting those roles assigned ahead of time as much as we possibly can, and trying to make sure that we do all our table topic timing in addition to the rest of the timing. So I want to say thank you to everyone for being here and for doing such a great job. And now I'll give it back to you, Adam, table or top master.
Thank you very much, Sonia.
I don't lie.
Talking of roles, well, first, I would love to hear from Shannon what you thought about the meeting. Do you have any feedback for us? Shannon?
It was sorry, I thought it was on mute.
Oh,
Hi, yeah, so I definitely need some help on my interview skills, I think. So, I have the technical depth, but I think when I'm getting on interviews is where I am having some trouble these days. So, if if anybody wants to reach out to me and have some mock interviews or conversations, I am happy to do so.
Actually,
Okay.
in
Yes.
addition to just coming to meetings, and as a group, we can do more exercises based off of that type of structure or in that arena. We can do table topics. You can do speeches on it. We can give you feedback. Um, and then we have access as if you became a member, we have access to something called Yodlee, which is a online application, AI application that you give a speech or respond to questions, and it will give you feedback on directly on what you say to it. So that you could also
Oh,
use
that's
as a great
cool.
tool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good tool for practicing for an interview as well. I've used it too in the past for that.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh, happy to do things like, interview question type based table topics or other activities too. Because I know a few of us are like I myself am looking for a job too. So I'm sure there's others that could either additionally get some practice or maybe interested as well. So definitely are willing to do something like that for a new member.
Yeah, that would be nice. Okay. Can you type the name of that tool in the chat? Yodlee, you said?
I think it's yeah, I think it's uh, the link is on your homepage on Toastmasters International. You can go right
Okay.
to it.
All
But
right, I'll look for it. Okay.
yeah, no, that's not correct. I'm trying to figure out how to spell it. I'm not spelling it right, but it's right on your homepage. So you
Okay.
can do it from there.
On international. Okay.
Yeah, on the international.
Shannon, also I put
Just put
my
it in there. There you go. That's it.
okay, thank you. I
Good
put
catch.
my email in the chat for you in
Mm-hmm.
case you want to reach out to me to discuss the club.
Okay.
It's
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. Okay, so roles for next week.
Before that,
Let's try.
let's do the picture.
Let's do the
Oh,
picture.
picture.
Okay.
Let's do the picture.
Thank you,
Okay, ready?
Benson. You're the
No worries.
picture master.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Got it.
Thank you, Benson. So, who wants to give speeches next week?
Oh,
Who
and
wants
next
to
week
be
will be
speaker?
the
Yeah.
Oh, you're
open
right.
house.
It's the open house. Ooh,
So it's more who's comfortable with certain roles, like timer, counter, and so on, grammarian. I believe we have our speakers scheduled, and we're looking for a guest speaker. So that we'll be working on in the background in the meantime. But if you feel comfortable with either Toastmaster of the day, or if you feel comfortable with grammarian or timer, what we'd be asking is that you briefly describe your role. So we'll have the Toastmaster just ask the functionaries to describe the role and why it's important outside of Toastmasters as well. That's a small little tidbit we'll be adding.
Yeah. And we can give you pointers like bullet points on things that you can include in those introductions of the roles as well. I think I have them. Did
I,
I haven't shared those yet. I will
I,
share those today,
I
but I have a
believe,
whole bunch of them.
okay. I believe I am supposed to be impromptu speaker. Is it next week?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
that's
All
right.
right.
And we'll have
So
a few,
let me
yeah,
do
we'll
that.
work through it with you. Because when we have the theme down, so you just have to practice stories kind of related to that theme.
Right.
Okay. Right. Oh, do we know if there's going to be enough of us to fill all the different roles from what you've heard behind the scenes? Or which roles do we still have to assign?
We just have to assign functionaries, I believe. And
For
then
sure.
we'll figure out whether or not we have a dedicated speaker, or a dedicated guest speaker. Otherwise, one of us is able to fill that role in. And
That'll be
then,
either me or Benson,
yeah,
right? That's what we decided. Although I liked Benson's speech today.
yeah.
That was
I think it's
great.
something that can be used as a start because that's a start to general, like each of our stories. It kind of follows that same vein where it's like there's a need that we want to fill. We happen to find Toastmasters.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can do that.
So yeah, I think what we could do, Zip, is if you could post a poll for the functioning roles
Yes,
in case
that's what I'm
anyone's
thinking.
available to take that.
Yeah, okay, I am going to do that on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
You mean? All
and I'll
right.
be able to share the meetup link so that way people can sign up and then it will just accurately reflect attendance.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, very well. That was a wonderful meeting, and I see it's 1 o'clock exactly. So I guess it is time to go away until our very exciting next meeting, long-awaited one next week.
All right, everyone, best luck with taxes if you haven't done it yet.
But
Nobody here. Okay.
just finished.
Right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
bye.
Thanks for
Pleasure.
joining us.
Goodbye, Shannon.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.